When my sister told me the house was no longer mine, I didn't argue. I didn't even cry. I just stood there in the living room we grew up in, nodding like I understood. She cleared her throat and said, "You can take your things today." That was all. No anger, no warmth, just a final quiet statement. I walked out with 2 bags and a silence so heavy it followed me down the street. We grew up in that house. It held our grief, our laughter, our growing pains. When our mother got sick, I was the one who stayed. I cooked, I cleaned, I slept on the couch just to be near. My sister visited, but she had her own life. After our mother passed, the talk about the house began. One day, she simply said, "Mother left the house to me." I never got an apology, but I stopped waiting for one. I learned that a home isn't just walls, it's where your heart feels safe. And sometimes, the bravest thing you can do is walk away quietly, carrying your dignity with you. Thanks for listening. After I left the house, my days began to blur. Mornings arrived whether I was ready or not, and nights followed even when I wished they would wait. In my small rented room, I would often wake before sunrise, not from any noise, but because my mind no longer knew where it was. For years, my body had learned the shape of the old house. Now, everything was unfamiliar. That house wasn't just wood and walls. It was where my sister and I hid under the table during storms. It was where our mother stood every evening, waiting for us to come home. After she passed, I used to sit in the kitchen and talk to her as if she could still hear me. Now, someone else owned that space. I almost called my sister so many times, just to ask, "How are you?" But I was afraid of her silence. Loneliness sat beside me, teaching me patience. I realized I had spent my life keeping peace for others, even when it cost me my own voice. Months later, a letter arrived. The house was sold, no apology, just a polite ending. And in that moment, I understood. I forgave her, not because she asked, but because I needed to breathe again. I carry my memories gently now, not as a burden, but like photographs kept close to the heart. There are places we never return to with our feet, only with our hearts. The old house became one of those places for me. I could still see the sunlight through the front window and hear my mother humming. I learned that memory doesn't belong to ownership, it belongs to love. For a long time, I tried to understand my sister, not to justify what she did, but to release myself from bitterness. Understanding her didn't erase the pain, but it softened the sharpest edges. Then, one day, she called. We didn't talk about the house. We just acknowledged each other. And when the call ended, I felt calm. I used to think closure meant answers or an apology, but it's quieter. It's when you stop asking why and start asking how. How do I live gently now? How do I protect my peace? Strength isn't loud. It's surviving loss and still choosing kindness. Family can break us, but it can also teach us who we are. And sometimes the quiet life we build afterward is the truest home we'll ever know. As time went by, I stopped measuring my life by what I had lost. Days became softer, quieter. I learned to sit with my tea until it cooled, to let the morning light rest on my face. Growing older changes how you see conflict. When you're young, you want to win, but with age, you learn that peace often matters more than being right. I didn't forget what happened. I simply stopped carrying it every day. That isn't weakness. That's wisdom. Forgiveness didn't arrive all at once. It came in pieces. It doesn't mean inviting someone back into your life. It means releasing them from the space they take up inside you. That kind of forgiveness is private, but it changes everything. If you're carrying your own silence, know this: you are not weak for walking away. You are not small for choosing calm. Some losses make room for a gentler life, and some endings aren't failures. They are invitations to begin again.